What a wonderful window! It's a pity the church is derelict. Its beauty is wasted. I wonder what happened to that window. It must have been quite a sight when it was whole. 7 feet of spectacular stained glass window. An old wooden bucket. There's a hole in the bottom. An old well. It looks as if there's still water down there. Sweet little kitten. It's so cute, and the poor thing is probably hungry. Ouch! It scratched me. Keep your claws back, you beast. Ladders are very useful for reaching high places. What a peculiar little girl.
Hey, what's the weather like up there?
You being funny? Look, picking fruit is a very hard job. Leave me alone. I don't have time to talk.
Can I hold the ladder for you? It looks dangerous.
No thanks. I don't need any help.
Well, this little girl knows what she's doing. What's your name?
Polly Jane. And this is Attila, my little cat.
Attila?
Right now he's an ordinary farm cat. But in a few years, he'll become a tiger protecting me from outsiders who disturb me while I pick fruit.
Are you from here?
Yeah, born and bred.
Why don't you come down here for a second and talk to me?
No, I've got to finish here.
It's a nice place. Is that church very old?
Yeah, it's medieval, but it's not used anymore. Not for many, many years.
There must be ghosts at night.
Joke about it if you want, but I wouldn't stay a night in there for anybody or anything. The wind through the windows makes strange noises, and inside it's full of tombs.
Ooh, it's weird. But you made me curious. I'm gonna have a look. Will you stick around until I get back?
I don't know. Goodbye, and don't anger the spirits.
I think I'll let you work. I'm sorry to disturb you. See ya.
Well, goodbye.
Looks as if this cow is enjoying life to the max. Neatly gathered from the surrounding fields. I need to waste time. This is the place. Needle anyone?
Damn! The mug has broken, and the cloth is dirty with resin. I guess I pushed the cloth around a little too hard.
That has closed the leak.
Well, at least it's not leaking anymore. Come on, Carolina, keep going.
Vegetation around here is very rich. I really have no use for these. It's completely full. This milk must be delicious. Here you go, little kitty. Help yourself. Sweet little kitten. It's so cute, and the poor thing is probably hungry. Cats are strange creatures. Now it's purring. A little kitten, so young, and yet he's already so full of fleas. Here we go. It's a big, strong door. I can't open it. It seems to be locked from the inside. It's locked. Maybe if I take the door bolt out. knows how many sins have been forgiven in there? An ancient urn. There are still some ashes inside. This broken tombstone has a very sinister look. I don't understand how this could help me. Confessional has a gap by the wall. Maybe there is something behind it. Confessional has a gap by the wall. Maybe there is something behind it.
It's a strong door bar. It's almost as long as my arm. Boy, this is heavy. I better make sure I don't drop it on my foot. Wow, this time I really had a great idea. We have a success. It looks like a secret passage. Only one way to find out where it goes.
I could get a hernia doing that. Better forget it. This menhir must weigh a ton. It's impossible to move it. It's a tunnel for the archaeological diggings. I feel claustrophobic just looking at it. I don't see anything here I'm interested in. Narrow and yet strong iron bars. It's impossible to break with anything I have. Narrow and yet strong iron bars. I don't see anything here I'm interested in. I don't see anything here I'm interested in. These are tombstones. They send shivers up my spine. What if the spirits get angry? I'd better leave it alone. These are tombstones. They send shivers up my spine. What if the spirits get angry? I'd better leave it alone. Narrow and yet strong iron bars. It's impossible to break with anything I have. It's a tunnel for the archaeological diggings. I feel claustrophobic just looking at it. I don't see anything here I'm interested in. I don't see anything here I'm interested in. definitely looks similar to the statues on Easter Island. Something tells me that should be my next stop. I'm doing everything wrong. Maybe I should take a trip. Perhaps Easter Island has some answers for me. Look, this picture looks similar to Stonehenge, but with all the stones in place. I really must go there. I wonder what that thing is above the stones. A gem, perhaps. This mysterious writing looks very ancient. My editor would probably love it. I don't understand it.
An ancient urn. There are still some ashes inside. I've got a tracing of these hieroglyphics with the white side of this sheet and the ashes in this urn. On the back of this, there are those hieroglyphics I copied down.
What a strange yet attractive tomb. I wonder who was inside it. Let's hope I won't be cursed. This symbol reminds me of something. Ah, that's right. It was at the bottom of the ocean. Professor must have found the key here. He talks about in his notes. Don't see anything here I can take. Decayed remains of its inhabitant, whoever it was. Entering a crypt beneath an old church is one spooky thing. Stealing somebody's remains is definitely out of the question. It's an ancient medallion. It must have been very precious to bury it with its owner.
This is the medallion I found in the tomb under the church.
It's a strong door.
Look, Simon! We have the world at our feet!
Boss, these buttons look interesting.
They give me an idea. Let me see.
This button is moving the crosshairs on the planisphere.
Let me do it, animal. Well, let me see. This way moves it east and west, and this way moves it north and south. Good, good.
Try to point at San Francisco. My mother-in-law is in San Francisco. Let's see if I can manage to get her on my life, once and for all.
Who cares about your mother-in-law? There's power here like I've never seen before. These buttons have a specific meaning. I think this symbol means storm, and this is a tornado.
Do you mean that we can command the elements as we like?
It would certainly appear so.
Well, come on, boss. Let's try.
What's happening? Snow in London? Bolts from the blue? The weather is going mad.
What a strange object. It's a heavy metal octagon, flat crystals embedded onto each side. I wonder what it is. What a strange object. It's a heavy metal octagon, flat crystals embedded onto each side. I wonder what it is.
It's a strange... I've never...
Here I am, back in old London town. The smell, the sights. Oh, I love this place.
Good to see you, Kendall. But you don't look 100%. Are you okay?
First things first. How did the last game go? Did we win?
Nope. They lost badly. Don't make that face. There are more important things in life.
Like what?
Dead languages, for example. Very exciting.
Then have a look at this and knock yourself out. I think I'll devote myself to football in future. All this research on the professor will be good for nothing but the garbage dump.
You don't have enough faith in yourself, Kendall. Don't give up. I trust your abilities. You deserve more than the sports section.
Actually,
Well, let's have a look here. Yes, interesting. You've discovered something hot.
like what? Some ancient recipe for Stegosaurus burgers?
Seriously, Kendall, this is a rare copy of an ancient Tuareg dialect. Where on earth did you find it?
Under an abandoned English church. You said it was a Tuareg dialect. What's that?
Well, the Tuareg are an ancient African tribe. You found it in a church? Now that is odd. I don't understand how it got there.
Oh well, too bad. I guess this is a lost cause. But at this point, all we can do is set our heart and soul into winning the championship. You know, I was thinking about writing an article that compared the skill of Stanley Matthews to the current-day English center forwards. What do you think?
The only person I know able to translate this stuff is the Prince Emir. He was a genius at Oxford. Graduated with honors. A real golden boy, and not just because of the fortune he'll inherit.
Or, what about a nice article about the symbolic meaning of the Cameroon team shirts? Readers have been waiting for that for a while.
Endo, pay attention. When you leave, tell my secretary to make reservations for a flight to Tamanrasset via Algiers. Flight leaves tonight. Find Prince Emir and get this translated.
Was thinking about the Cameroon team. Sure you can find another sucker to get this translated. I'll just,
Prince Emir's a nice guy, you'll see. Say hello to him for me, Kendall.
Oh well, we're losing the championship anyway. Don't really need to be around for the final defeat.
Is it a dromedary or a camel? I think it's a camel. No, wait. Maybe it's a dromedary. Well, there's a way to figure out what it is, and it has something to do with the hump. 2 humps? 1 hump? It's a dromedary, I think. Maybe it's just better to forget the idea. Nice architecture. Simple, functional, subtle, kinda dull, really. They may look attractively ethnic, but there's no privacy. Wow, she's a Mediterranean beauty, a real oasis in a barren landscape.
Hello, young woman. I'm an English journalist. My name is Richard, and I'm here to find a person called Amir. Do you know him? He's a very well-traveled and highly educated member of the Tuareg village. My boss, the editor, he asked me to talk with him.
Stranger, you have his wife Lala in front of you. Tomorrow, you will have his widow.
Why? What do you mean?
Not too long ago, the village celebrated for 3 days and 3 nights the wedding between Amir and Lala, the daughter of the tribe's chief. But the wedding banquet quickly became a funeral wake.
Amir, your husband, is he dead?
You don't understand, stranger. Amir will die tomorrow, accused of killing my father, the chief of the Tuareg tribe, so he could inherit his title. I'm here in front of the tent of my ancestors, crying for my father, since I don't have any more tears to cry for my husband.
Do you think that Amir is innocent?
My father's ghost appeared last night in the tent and swore to me that he would never have given me in marriage to an evil man. Amir is innocent. The real murderers are part of a conspiracy.
Where's your husband now?
He of regal birth has been beaten like a dog, humiliated like a slave, and is now lying locked inside the condemned cell.
Well, listen, you must tell me everything you know about your father's death. Where you were, when he was killed, and what you were doing.
You twist the knife in a wound still bleeding.
You have to make this sacrifice to save Amir.
I'll tell you. I was resting from the fatigue of the wedding ceremony. I was in my father's tent. I was waiting for my husband to take me for the first time to his tent. I've never entered it. Amir was in prison, and we haven't even kissed.
Let me enter the tent. I need to rest to think it over.
No strangers will ever enter this tent. Only Tuareg princes are admitted here.
Please?
I don't know you. I can't be sure of what you really want. Let me pray, stranger. An orphan and a widow is asking you to respect her mourning.
Enjoying your meal, my friend? May I interrupt you for a moment?
You're already doing it.
I'm looking for someone able to translate mysterious writing. I'm willing to pay.
Get out of here. Don't you see I'm eating?
I have one question before I go. Do you know Prince Amir?
Amir is not a prince anymore.
What do you mean?
After what he did, he doesn't deserve any title.
What happened?
Ask him. He's the one locked in a fort's prison. And that was 3 questions. Now get out!
He doesn't look very smart. More brawn than brains.
Are you the officer in charge of the prisoner?
Soldier Nerebuth. Guard of the prison for 20 years, 7 months, and 14 days.
Bad job, I guess. Hey, do you know Prince Amir?
Stranger, you don't seem to be with the tour. What are you looking for? Don't you know it's forbidden to talk with soldiers while carrying out their duties?
Sorry, but I didn't mean to distract you. I just wanted to ask you if you know this man.
If you have a look inside there, you'll see what's left of him. He's locked in the cell, waiting to be hung.
What did the prince do to be treated like this?
Sure, a prince treated like a dog is something that has never happened before. Well, new chiefs, new laws.
Tell me what happened.
The chief of the tribe, as maybe you already know, has been shot. A rifle shot to the middle of his throat.
Where were you?
I was at the fort's entrance as usual, and I ran, but for what? His head was apart from the rest of his body, and nothing could be done for him. Later, 3 women were needed to clean up the blood.
Ugh, what a terrible sight.
That's what happens when you're rich. If you stay in your poor hole, nobody comes looking for trouble.
And what does Prince Amir have to do with all this?
It has to do with the strange coincidence that the gentleman was just practicing his shooting around the corner.
Couldn't it have been an accident?
A nice accident if you inherit the leadership of the tribe. The prince had the right to the succession after the chief's death, since he married his daughter. But he couldn't wait. The chief was as healthy as a horse who doesn't want to die. Can you imagine him dying for the nice face of the little prince and his modern ideas?
Didn't they get along well?
It's not that. The king loved the prince. He did. But they couldn't understand each other. 2 hard heads, but each with his own ideas.
What do you mean?
The old man was made of the old style, tied to the ancient traditions. The young boy is a crazy one. He would like to do everything the Western way, and the king didn't like it.
Did they argue a lot?
Sure they did. Just the night before the tragedy, I heard them yelling. The boy sold some dromedaries without his permission, and with the money, he bought some kind of evil car. We get only trouble from you Western people. He was right, the old man.
How about you? What do you think about it?
Well, I'm not paid to think about his innocence or guilt.
Good. My visit is over.
That's fine. I don't like strangers.
You're very hospitable around here.
Stay out of trouble. We still use corporal punishment, and a couple of lashes wouldn't look that good on your pale skin.
I know what I'm doing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What a dirty hovel. He is in real bad shape. Hey, you! Can you hear me?
Who's there? Aren't you tired of tormenting me?
No, I'm not one of the guards. I won't hurt you.
I can't see anything. They beat me up.
Listen, I'm looking for Amir, the prince.
You found him. Or at least what's left of him.
I understand this is not the best moment to ask you this, but I need your help.
My friend, I think there's no one who needs help more than I do right now. But if I can help...
Do you know this language? Can you translate it?
I'd like to help you, but believe me, I can't even see your face from all the beatings I got.
Do you think there's anybody who will know it?
There is a man who can certainly help you. He's the holy man of Aghar Mountain. He can do everything except set me free, even if he does care about me a lot.
Why did they treat you like this?
It's barbarous treatment, isn't it? Maybe in your country they don't even treat animals like this.
Don't be so sure about that.
Well, if I was going to become king, as I was supposed to, I would have abolished these horrors. But somebody has made that impossible.
What happened?
A very cunning conspiracy. The king of the Tuareg tribe was shot just as I was shooting outside the fort, as I do every day when the sun goes down.
So it was natural to charge you with the murder?
By somebody who had their own reasons to do so. A few days ago, I married Lala, the daughter of the chief who was killed. And because of this marriage, and my royal family, I had the right to inherit the crown.
Evidently there are others trying to get it.
I did not kill King Ibrahim. For me, he was like a father. His wisdom and his justice would have been mine in governing. Do you believe me?
I believe you, Amir.
Glories to Allah.
Can you prove that the murderer of the king is someone else?
If I could, do you think I'd still be here eating rancid bread?
Do you suspect somebody?
I know very well who'd like to see me dead, but how can I prove it?
Can I do anything for you?
Very little. But maybe...
Tell me. I want to help you.
Really? I think you may be the right person. Take this ring to Lala, my wife. Only with this will that saint of a woman trust you and help you in finding the guilty person.
I'll go.
I'll be thankful to you for the rest of my life, even if my life should end tomorrow.
I've got to go, Amir. I've a job to do here.
You two leave me to my destiny.
If I could help you, I would. Believe me.
Allah watches over you.
Don't despair.
I'll pray. Goodbye.
It's very romantic. A ring as a sign of love. It's almost touching. Jeep is the only vehicle to get around in the desert. I guess from the tire marks in front of the Jeep, Dad, there's another exit for vehicles. It's locked, and I won't be able to force it open. It's very...
Lala, I'm bringing you the sign of my friendship between you and your husband. Look.
This is the ring which sealed my marriage. Where did you get it?
Your husband gave it to me to bring you. You need to trust me, Lala. I'm your friend.
As Amir gave you this ring, which my father bestowed upon him to seal the wedding promise. You are, for me, my husband's brother, and I have to obey you.
Let me enter the tent. I need to rest to think it over.
In this tent no stranger has ever left his print. But you have my husband's ring, and I can read good intent in your eyes. Go in, but make sure nobody sees you.